his return. So in Luke chapter 21, 8 through 11, there are the 6 signs. He says there's going to be deception, wars and commotions, earthquakes, famines, pestilences, and fearful sights and signs from heaven. So he gives us 6 signs. In fact, it's very important to notice this. If you look at your Bible at verse 12, he says, but before all these things, what things? Before the 6 signs, right? Before the deception, before the wars, before the famines, before the earthquakes, before the signs from heaven. But before all these things, right, something's going to happen. They will lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and prisons, and you'll be brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. Now it's interesting, Judas ended up hanging himself. Of the 11 apostles who were left, 10 of them would be martyred. Only John the Apostle would not be martyred. John the Apostle was exiled to Patmos, where he wrote the book of the Revelation. But what Jesus is describing is there would be persecution, okay, from the church age, from the birth of the church, the Pentecost, right up to the end. So what we see, right? We see that happening today. We see it happen over the course of these last years. The Romans, right, putting Christians to death. The pagans putting Christians to death. ISIS putting Christians to death. And millions of people martyred in the previous century. And there's a genocide happening right now in the Middle East against Christians. Christianity has almost been entirely wiped out of Syria, Iraq, Yemen, Saudi Arabia. And it's a pure genocide. So the Lord, he says that this is going to be ongoing. And again, at some point, Jerusalem, okay, is going to be leveled. The temple is going to be leveled. And he says, then you're going to experience these birth pains. And Matthew 24:8 uses the term Odin.